Hello and welcome to a stretching video. I want to start a series where I teach you how to stretch yourself or how to release your muscles. So if you like it, make sure to let me know by liking this video or commenting down below what kind of stretching parts you want me to do. Today it's all about the hip release. Start on your mat, feet together, and slightly press down your knees. Don't force anything yet, just make yourself comfortable. Then drop your head and slowly roll it from one side to the other to prepare the body to work a little, to release. Now put your right hand to your left ear and let the gravity do its work. This is gonna stretch your left neck. Make sure your face is kind of facing the ground. Pull down your left shoulder also. When you're ready, reverse it. Put your left hand to your right ear. For me, this feels so good. Release this and go over to your right knee. Just kind of embrace it and let your side open up. Just don't force anything yet. Just let it go, let gravity do its work. And feel where you are tight. And maybe send the breath to that area. Releasing everything. Go over to your left side and let your upper body hang down. You should feel kind of a stretch in your sides. And they're also connected to your hips. So whenever I work on my hips, I do also stretch my sides. And when you're sitting a lot, this is really gonna benefit you. Now come back up and with your right hand push down your right knee. Just as much as you can go and as deep as you feel comfortable. It should feel slightly uncomfortable, but it should never be super painful that it hurts or that you want to come out of the stretch immediately. Just be aware of your body and do what it tells you. Now go over to your left side and press it down ever so slightly. Now grab your feet in front and lean over. If it's not possible, it's totally okay. Just lean over as far as possible and totally release everything. Let your head be heavy. Let go of every tension you have in your body. Just focus on your muscles, on your tissue, on your hips. The breath is your friend. With every breath out, you can go a bit deeper. You can release a little more. Let's get a little butt stretch in. Make sure that your left shin is parallel to the mat in front of you, and then place your right ankle on top of your left knee and press your right knee down as far as possible. If it's not touching your left foot, don't worry, just go as deep as you can, and if you feel totally comfortable, you can lean over. And once again, release everything, don't hold the tension. Be sure to really loosen that muscle. And yet don't force anything. Breathe into the pain, breathe into the stretch. And if you want to go a step further, take your left foot in front of you so that the knee is not touching the foot anymore. But if you want to stay where you are, it's completely fine as well. I feel like this stretch is really releasing everything. And I love to do it after my workouts, for example. Now take it over to the other side. And so now the right foot is in front, the left ankle goes on top of the right knee, and press it down as far as possible. And if you can and want, just let your upper body drop over your legs. Remember to breathe. You breathe in energy and then you relax with your breath out. You breathe the pain away and you get more relaxed and more calm with every breath out. Now take it a step further. If you want to, pull out that right foot and lean over again. Feel how good it feels to release the tension, to open up those hips. For me, it just makes me feel so calm and so released. And so much more at ease. You can also extend your arms if you want to. This practice is really about you, so just do everything that's comfortable to you. If you don't feel like doing anything, just don't do it. Now get out of the pose and just give your hips a little rock back and forth. And then we'll go into a lunge. This one can be so intense if you want to make it intense. So what I just do here, I press my hips down to the floor and I grab my hips to just get it a little deeper. Try to keep your hips square as much as possible and focus on bringing those hips down. For a more intense stretch, you can push your upper body away by holding on to your knee. And to make it even more intense, you can stand up on those back toes. Place your hands on the mat and bring that left knee up. You can rock back and forth a little bit. And then just let everything sink to the mat again. If you want to, you can reach over your right leg and let your hips sink to the ground. Get back up and really slowly push the right knee towards the outside, and your foot is also gonna come on that outside part. Just take everything super slowly and listen to your body so that you don't overreach and overstretch. To take it a little deeper, you can come onto your elbows and keep that stretch. Come back up and we're gonna rock back and forth. This is also gonna stretch your hamstring a little bit. Just try to keep your back as straight as possible. Then we'll find stillness again. Lean over your leg as far as possible. If you're not able to touch your leg with your nose, don't worry, just go as far as possible. Slowly come back up onto all fours and we'll give that hip a little rotation. Just from the inside to the outside, rotate your leg and take your hip with it. Now take your left foot in front to a lunge and we'll repeat the same on the other side. Press your hips down to the floor. Make sure that your hips are kind of squared and feel that stretch. Your hips are really gonna thank me for it. Deepen the stretch by pushing your upper body away. This is only a little detail, but it's really gonna help. Get onto those toes. If it's too much, just go back, but you can always try. Place your hands on the mat and release everything to it. You can reach around your left foot. And again, just breathe into it. Come back up. We're gonna push the left knee outside. Make sure that your foot is also rolling over. And do this really gently because it can be super intense. Take your elbows to the floor and let your hips sink outwards. This is a really different stretch because we usually don't do that. Our hips are usually always straight. And once we try to push them outside of the comfort zone, it can be really weird. Come back up. Slowly take everything back to neutral. And then we're gonna rock back and forth a couple of times. Straightening our leg, straightening our back. Just giving that hamstring that little release. Because everything in our bodies is connected. Come to stillness and fold over as far as possible. Come back out of it onto all fours and we'll give the hip socket a little rotation. So with your knee, just draw big circles in the air. You can come to your child's pose to rest a little bit. And I love to really squeeze everything here. Take another big lunge with your right leg and now scooch your foot all the way over to the left side of your mat. Rock back and forth a couple of times and then you want to lay down your leg parallel to your mat in front of you and bring that left hip down to the mat. If this is too intense, you can always bring your right foot closer to your hip, because that will make it a little easier. And remember to breathe. Now you want to fold over with your upper body, and what I like to do, I place my right foot into my left elbow crease so that the foot is just staying where it is. But you really don't have to do that. And if your foot is by your hip, just leave it there and fold over. I love this stretch because you pretty much don't have to do anything except for lying there. And this gives me the opportunity to release everything, to not holding on to anything in my body. I'm just lying there while my hips are opening up. Slowly come back up. Take everything to the front, your right foot towards your hip. And again, we're just gonna fold over once again. This is a little preparation for your middle splits, which we're gonna be doing later in this flow as well. Now walk over to your left foot. And again, I'm kind of training on my flexibility every day to every second day, so I'm rather flexible. But if your stretch isn't as deep as mine, don't worry, just stick with it and go as far as you can and want. There's no right or wrong here. You just want your hips to stay on the floor and your back to be as straight as possible again. Your goal is to reach your leg with your belly first and then your head, not the other way around. Get back up. Come out of this. We'll take a big lunge forward with your left foot. Scooch it all the way to the right side of your mat. Give yourself a little rock back and forth. This is just going to release your hips a little bit more. And then place your shin parallel to the mat in front of you And again, if this is too intense for you, you can always put your left foot closer to your hip. Try to press down your right hip. And then when you're ready, just fold over and release everything you have sitting in your hip, every tension, every pain, every thought. Just acknowledge it, see it, and then with a deep breath out, just let it go. Slowly come back up. Don't take it too fast. And now we're gonna take it to the front again. Your left foot to your knee. And fold back over again. Listen to your body. See what it tells you. How does this side feel? Does it feel different from the other side? Can you go deeper? Every person has a good side and a bad side. So it's totally normal if one side feels better and one side feels more tense. Walk your hands over to the right side. And again, just take it as far as you can go. Remember, the belly button is the first thing that wants to touch your leg. And then your chest. And then your head. And if nothing reaches your leg, that's fine as well. Come out of it, straighten your knees, and we'll take it with baby steps, so don't have to go as far as I did here. Just kind of open your legs in a V shape and fold over. If you're on your hands or your elbows or totally lying flat, it's up to you and up to your body. But just feel what that stretch does to you. If you feel relaxed or tense, and it's okay, just let it go. Take it over to the right side. Try to reach your toes, or your shin, or your knee, just how far you can go. And do the same on the left side. Just feel how the stretches differ if you move your torso. Alright, get back out of it, and now with your left hand try to reach over. You can stay here, or if you can go deeper, reach your toes here. This is a stretch for your hips but also for your sides, and they're also really tense for me pretty much all the time, so I feel like this is a really good stretch, especially if you're sitting a lot. If you keep a lot of tension or a lot of stress inside of you. And remember to breathe. Come back up, and now with your right hand try to reach the toes of your left foot. Or just stay up in the air just as far as you can go. I love this stretch so much. I feel so good after it. Curl back up, and we're gonna take it to the front once again and see if you can go a little further, a little deeper. And try not to tense up. Just keep your muscles soft and let yourself sink into the stretch. And every time it feels too discomfortable, just take it a step back. There's no shame in it. Alright, we'll get back up. Give your hips a little shake, a little rock from side to side again, just to release everything. Now we'll go into a split, or a split as far as you can go, of course. Just rock back and forth. And then let yourself sink down as far as possible. You know your limits, so just don't take it too far. Try to keep your hips as squared as possible, your back straight. And if this is enough, just stay here, but if you want to, you can lay down over your right leg. Slowly come back up, take it to the other side. For me it's the left side. Take a couple rocks back and forth just to prepare yourself. And then slowly let yourself sink down into the splits or something that wanna get to the splits eventually. Keep your torso straight, hips squared. You could also take a pillow and place it under your hip or use some blocks. And if you're ready, sink over your left leg. Come back up. And we're gonna come into the frog. If you have a slippery underground and some leggings, just as I do, this is fine. If you're wearing shorts, you can grab a towel, place it under your right leg, and your left leg is gonna stay on the mat. And you want your knees to slide away from each other as far as possible. This can be really intense, so be careful. And if it's comfortable for you, you can lie down flat on the ground. Or also come to your elbows, which intensifies the stretch. Slowly come back out of it. Be super careful. Take it to the child's pose once again. Just breathe in and out. Release everything. You're doing great so far. Now come onto your knees and just a little stretch before the final big stretch. We'll take it back into camel pose. So your right hand is on your right ankle and the left hand is on your left ankle. And it's like a little back bend. Come back out of it and we'll take it to the full middle splits. So just open your legs as far as possible and comfortable. And stay here or lean over, just as you want to. And we're gonna stay here for a little bit longer. So you can also grab a pillow and lie on it, or grab a couple of pillows and lie on it. just make sure it's comfortable. And take this time to reflect on how your hips feel, on how you feel and how you felt at the start of this practice, if something changed. And with every breath out, make sure to release a little bit more and get a little bit deeper in that stretch. I heard the saying that every stress and every negative emotion is kept in the hips, and once you stretch them and open them up, it's released and you can let go. I don't know if it's true, but whenever I stretch and I open up my hips, I feel so much more relaxed and at ease. So who knows? Really slowly press yourself up. Come out of this super intense stretch. Bring your feet together really slowly and rock those hips once again. Ah, that release feels so good. Now lay down on your back. Give yourself a big hug. Rock yourself from side to side, maybe massaging that lower back a little bit. Take your knees inside of your hands and draw big circles with them. Take it to the other side. And now separating the knees, just from inside, draw big circles to the outside. Really shaking up those hips. Reverse. Doesn't this feel super good? Now give yourself another really big hug. Stretch everything out. You can stay here, or what I like to do, I'm just gonna put my feet together into diamond shape and stay here for a little bit longer. Get fully aware of your body, of your position, of what you feel, of how you're doing, of your emotions, of your physical state. Give yourself a moment to reflect, to be grateful, to be happy, and thank yourself for doing this, doing those stretches. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you again next time when I do a stretching video. So, thank you so much.